Okay, this
Yeah,
entire
no.
episode is gonna be like me hitting on David for like 45 minutes straight. Okay,
Who said it would be? Who said it wouldn't be the other way around? That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my, I love it when straight men compliment me. Okay, ding ding. Welcome. You're right on time for delulu hour. Welcome to the podcast. Yes, as the name entails, the Lulu Hour is the podcast where I yap for however long about life, pop culture, anime, and of course K-pop, all with a hint of spice and a crap ton of delusion. My name is Kevin, and I'm your main host of the show. Today we have a guest here today. He's been here now. This is going to be the third episode that he's here. So why don't we give a warm welcome to David? Go. Hi. How are you?
Hello, I am here.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, well, why don't you
Wait,
introduce yourself better?
Can we redo the intro? My thing was like, my brain was like not here.
No,
for
I
some
don't. No, you
reason.
don't get every day. Go,
Ah, fuck
introduce
you.
yourself.
Okay. God damn it, I've been here for too long.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So, are you gonna introduce
Wait,
yourself?
no.
Hello.
Oh shit. What's up? I'm David. Yes, I've been here for too long. It's currently 12 a.m. for context,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm being held hostage.
Well, that's
No,
why.
for legal purposes, that's a joke. Anyways, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Look at you. He's a lawyer now, guys.
For legal purpose, I am not a lawyer. Anyways.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So
Your
David.
ass.
Yeah. You want to say something? Or
Oh no. This is all irrelevant.
okay. Okay.
Irrelevant to Your Honor.
Okay, well, for context then, like David has been with us for 2 episodes. He was here when I was doing the canceled podcast actually. We talked about twice. We talked about all of his favorite music stuff. So, if you want to know about him, like you could go check out those 2 other episodes out. But like as of now, like how do you feel, David, being back after so long? I don't know like when was the last time I talked to you on podcast, but like I think it was like a few months now. And now like I have a different branding. Now it's Delulu Hour, right? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's been a while. I think yeah. I think it's been like more than half a year, right?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Also, Sugar's on my keyboard, so if you see Discord messages popping up, it's not me.
Oh, okay. You know, you reminded me to put on do not disturb. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, David is tired, as you could probably tell. He's
And
actually been
sick.
like sick for the past few days. So, why don't you tell us what happened?
Oh yeah, so fun story. I went to a public swimming pool because I was like watching the Olympics. I was like, oh, I'm inspired. I'm trying to go swimming.
Mm-mm.
And then accidentally drank. I didn't swim for like I think a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I accidentally drank a mouthful of like pool water.
Oh,
I don't
god.
recommend it. And I may or may not have just gotten like a stomach virus because of that. And I don't want to be too graphic, but like let's just say it was not a fun time.
Oh my god. Pool water is like already so disgusting. Like when you talk about pool water, I could already like imagine like the chlorine and like that pool smell. Like before, I used to swim a bit. I'm not sure if you know this, right? But
Oh, you
like
did?
yeah, like I can swim to like
Oh.
an extent, but it was like so long ago. Like when I was like in like grade 1 or grade 2, I used to like swim in my building's pool, right? And I just stopped
Wait, your
because like I
building has
didn't
a
like it.
pool?
Yeah, my building has a pool.
I'm coming to visit you.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if the pool is open though. I mean, but
Aw,
it's
man.
it's probably definitely cleaner than the one at the one that you're going to. Okay, yeah. And like on the other note, right? Going back to like the podcast, my previous podcast, I don't know if you saw, but like it kind of blew up.
I know, right? I was gonna
Okay, this
say,
is like
congrats.
okay, this is like not like me being cocky or anything, because like 1.6K views is like literally nothing. But like for my channel, it was something, right? I was not expecting that at all. Like, oh my god, like all of y'all, thank you. That's all I gotta say. Thank you. Not trying to start
Oh my
beef.
god, you hit 1.7.
Yeah, not trying to
Hey.
start beef with the K-pop fans, but like, thank you.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else new with you, David? Or before we like get into the main thing?
Oh shit! I just googled your thing. And I'm like, wow, look at all these views. Your K-pop views.
Oh my god,
Your
thank you.
K-pop viewers
Thank you,
doing
thank
great.
you. I know I'm like Mr. Worldwide now.
Okay, buddy. Okay, Mr. Worldwide. Okay.
Okay, yes. So, anything else good
Anyway,
with you, or that's it? That's it.
brain empty.
Okay, brain empty. Got it. Okay,
I'm tired.
so we'll get into the main topic of the show now. So, if you could tell by watching this, I'm kind of wearing a shirt right now that's kind of like gonna be going into the theme of the main show. I'm wearing
Wait, can I see it?
no, I'm wearing the Pride, like my Pride shirt. Like I'm sure you've seen it before already. Like with all the flags
the
on
one you
them.
bought from Hot Topic.
Oh yeah, was this from Hot Topic?
Yeah,
I don't remember anymore.
yeah. I
But yeah, it
remember you
has all the
buying it.
flags on it. Yeah, so that's kind of a hint of what we're gonna talk about. So the
Mhm.
topic of this episode is we're gonna be talking about gay versus straight dynamics. Now, we just gotta make it clear first. I'm the gay, okay? The man I'm talking to right now, he's the straight.
You sure?
Oh, oh,
I'm
wait.
coming. No, I'm joking.
Not you baiting me like that. Oh my god, how dare you?
No.
So,
I was told you ages ago, man.
oh, really? For me?
Dude, I would have came out like ages ago.
Oh
if
my
I was.
god. Oh my god. Okay, this
Yeah,
entire
no.
episode is gonna be like me hitting on David for like 45 minutes straight. Okay,
Who said it would be? Who said it wouldn't be the other way around? That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my, I love it when straight men compliment me. Okay, so so we came up with this topic because David and I, me being gay, he's being straight, right? Like we often have like these clashes of like conversations where like I find one thing like this is my opinion, but his is like totally completely different. And like it made me realize and maybe like ponder like why do we think this way? Why is our like brains wired to be like this? And like I don't know, like David, like how do you feel about like this dynamic of like gay and straight people? Because before, if we like look back on like even like a couple 100 years, right, like centuries, decades, right, like it wasn't always like this, right? But now this is so like Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and like all this, like even like millennials, like coming out and like changing laws for us, where now gay people like in a lot of countries now have the right to get married, right? Same-sex marriage is legalized, and also even like gender roles have like changed a lot, right? So like how do you feel about that?
It's interesting because it's like when like okay, for the viewers, for context, we literally this podcast idea was birthed from like a 3 a.m. conversation me and Kevin were having at like night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it just dawned on us like how interesting our perspectives are. And you mentioned this earlier, but like it's like you say something like as one thing and I see something like completely in a different way. And I think I told you this during that conversation, is like I thought it was because of like something like nature. Because scientifically there's always been like these scientists that have like argued like is your sexual orientation, is it when you're born or is it like your environment or like there's like what determines that and like what determines the way you think, right? Like your psyche. But like I don't know, the more I think about it, it's just like I think perspective wise, I think a part of it is just like something you're just surrounded by environment wise, it just changes your perspective. And I say that because it's like I found it so fascinating because like for you specifically when it comes to women, it's like you can understand how they how they think, but like how they process like certain like I guess certain words that I guess would be interpreted differently to what I would interpret it as. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and yeah, it's just really interesting. So I like ADHD by way of like out of this. What was I saying?
I think you were trying to make a point where, because of our surroundings, we can be more easily influenced to like think a certain way and be a certain way, and like our beliefs and yeah, our beliefs will change as we grow up depending on what we're surrounded by. Like for me, you mentioned how what was it called? Like I understand girls better than like guys, I guess, or like I understand girls better than the average heterosexual male would, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's because I grew up like, I really liked, I guess, feminine things. Feminine, right? I want to say that in quotation marks because, you know, we're,
Society.
yeah, in quotation marks, right? Because I don't like the idea of like, there's things that are feminine, things that are masculine. But for the purpose of like being clear, I'm just going to use the word feminine in quotation marks, right? So I was into like very feminine things as a kid. Like I like Bratz, I like Totally Spies. I like the idea of like dressing up, wearing makeup. And that's not because like I like was forced to surround myself by that. Like yeah, I had an older sister and everything who like those things too. But like I like those things more than like Ben 10, Transformers, like Hot Wheels, right? That's what I was surrounded by growing up, but I wasn't into that stuff. I was into more of like the feminine stuff that I just mentioned. And you were mentioning how it's like, oh, is it nature or is it like nurture? But I think it is nature because, like I just said, like I was drawn to the things that were more feminine, even though the masculine things were presented in front of me as well. So I think it is
Mm-hmm.
like nature because I was born this way. But you were also saying how you were unsure if like, you know, when you're born, right? Like, are you born
Hmm.
heterosexual? Like, is your sexuality already determined at birth? Like, that's a more interesting question to say. I mean, for me, I would say you know your sexuality at birth, but it still depends on like, I guess, your nurture, like what you're surrounded by to like know
Hmm.
like when to come out or like when you have that realization that like, hey, maybe I swing the other way.
Yeah. I, I really regret not taking notes when we had that like 3 a.m. Conversation because we had like so many good points.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
Just that.
we're still like touching on the surface of it, but like we'll get
That's true.
deeper into it, right? Because right now I just want to like briefly like gloss around like upbringing and also like the definition of it, just for like context of viewers, right? And like just another
Yep.
thing too is like I grew up in a, I guess, not welcoming environment. Like I had parents who were super strict, super conservative. I mean, I'm sure that's the same for you as well, right? We both are
Mm-hmm.
Asian parents, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
East Asia.
yes. And also, at the time that we were growing up, right? Like we were born in like early 2000s. So growing up, it was
Uh-huh.
still like a more conservative time when like same-sex
Hmm.
marriage and all that stuff was like still not, I guess, well known.
Not seen as it wasn't seen as like.
Yeah, it was bigger
Mm,
of a minority than it is now, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
for me growing up, like I was a pretty like as I just mentioned, a feminine child, right?
Hmm.
So I would hang out with girls a lot. I would be interested in things that they're doing. I wouldn't be like interested in sports or like going out and play recess. I was always like, teacher, can I like stay inside and like play with my toys or something? Like it just I didn't like the idea of going outside and playing sports. Like and not just because I wasn't into like the masculine stuff, but also I was afraid of getting bullied by them because I was more feminine. I mean, and I was bullied by like some of my peers growing up because I was more feminine. And like
Uh,
yeah. Like well
yeah.
what about you? Like you grew up as a straight male. That sounds so weird to say. Right?
I
But
know,
like did
right?
you I guess encounter anyone who you suspected as like gay, quote unquote, or like did you know about it at the time?
I have three, but I cannot say.
Okay.
I have three, but I'm not allowed to say on the
Yeah, like
internet.
don't worry about
But
that. Like just say like if you have
hmm
then just say yes, right? But
yeah.
so yes, you do.
Hmm.
Like you don't have to out them or anything, right? I'm not saying you have to out them, but I'm just saying
Mm.
like what was it like growing up with them and like being surrounded by that?
Mm, like Like how they behave,
Yeah,
like their behavior.
yeah, like their
Oh, okay.
mannerisms, their like the way they talk, the way they talk to
Ah, okay.
you, or like how is like
Mhm.
your friendship has like strengthened all over time, or like or even
Oh,
like how did
sorry.
you end up being friends with them in the first place, right?
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. One thing I wanted to say was the growing up touch up on was your growing up point.
Mm,
And then I'll go back to this question because it has to lead to this.
okay.
But like, because growing up is like, it's like you grew up like that, and like I grew up like, because growing up being gay wasn't socially acceptable as it was today.
Yeah.
So when we grew up, it was more of like, especially during the 2000s, around there, like 2010s, it
Yeah.
was very like, how do you say? It was very like, I don't know if it's dry humor, but it was very like, it's like people saying like, "Oh, that's so gay," and like,
Oh
and like
yeah.
that
Oh
was
my god, I forgot
like
about that.
normalized,
Yeah.
like stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like basically things that weren't normalized, things that were normalized back then were not normalized, are not normalized now, and they're like actually looked down upon now, right? For example,
Yeah.
like that phrase,
Yeah.
like, yeah, right, and it's just like it's just interesting because growing up like that, it's like I feel like for you it definitely took a toll because I think it would have given you like I would imagine it for you it would feel more like personally impacted because it's like something that you strongly kind of like connect to, like resonate
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
because you are a gay,
Mm-hmm.
and like when people say that I can imagine that it's like it would take up more of an impact on you versus me saying it, like, because like I'm not gay, so like it would not have impacted me, so I would not like have expected to have the impact that like it's associated with, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and with
Yeah.
the negative connotation behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also like back then, also there was a lot of like mannerisms that were a lot different now,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I mentioned that is because the people I grew up with, to go back to your question, was like the people who I suspected and I was right, who turned out to be like, let's just say not straight,
Okay.
like because like I met so many different people who were
Yeah.
like, yeah, not straight, were like very like different from how they acted compared to like my straight friends,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I was able to tell, and it wasn't like really anything too crazy big.
Okay.
It was like small things that I just picked up on,
Mm-mm.
like. And to preface this will be online. I don't mean to generalize this, but
Oh, actually,
this,
before you get into that, like I wanted to talk about this later in the episode. But I get
oh,
what you're
okay.
trying to say, right? Like there are certain like
Okay, okay.
stereotypes that the gay community has compared to like just
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
people, right? I get that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And like, yeah, like growing up is like, I think your question was like, how could I tell they were gay, or like,
Oh no, like
or like,
how did that like
what was
change your
the
how did that change your perspective? I guess. Like what was it like for you growing up with people who are in the gay community?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Now I get it. Yeah, it was. I mean, now it's amazing because it's like I
Mm.
get to talk to people directly from that community and
Mm-hmm.
understand, like, really understand, like, your perspectives on it,
Yeah.
and like get a general idea. Even though it's like you're like one person from like a big community, it's like it's still better than nothing, and I find it like really nice being
Mm-hmm.
able to, because I feel like if I was not surrounded by like my friends who are like who sorry, brain blanking,
I get what you're saying. Like if you weren't like
yeah,
growing up with a bunch of like with a diverse group of people, you wouldn't
hmm
have the same, I guess, open mindset you would right now, right?
exactly, yeah,
Okay,
I feel
okay.
like that really helped, like with the whole transition from the dry humor from back then to now. It's
Yeah.
like it really helped with that, and it made me understand more of like why it's not as seen as socially acceptable now.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like if I was not surrounded by such a diverse group of friends, I would not have that same understanding as
Yeah.
to now, which I can appreciate because
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
this might be
Yeah.
TMI, guys, but like David is a League of Legends player from day one. So like, I've caught you saying some like that's so gay to people sometimes. Like growing up, I heard
I
you say
admit
it.
I'm a guilty offender.
Yeah,
But we left that in middle
yeah,
school, okay?
yeah,
We
yeah.
left that in middle and high school.
But like that goes to say like you didn't learn that from us, obviously, right? Like you didn't learn that from
Oh
your
yeah,
any of
no.
your gay community friends, right? But you learned that from the
Mhm.
straight people who are like brainwashed, right, by media, thinking that it's okay to say that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like that
Mhm.
also goes back in time to when like we
When it was like
were
perfectly acceptable. And you guys were like more
yeah,
suppressed.
yeah. And also well, like, when women were suppressed, right, as well.
Yeah.
Where like people saw
Oh
like
yeah.
calling women like, oh, you belong in the kitchen, stuff like that. Not
Mhm.
me not saying that, okay? I'm just saying that as an
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
That's not okay to say now,
Uh-huh.
right? But
Yeah,
calling,
that was like a classic Valorant is like incel mill line.
yeah, even like in League of Legends today, it's like it still occurs today, right? People shitting on women for playing games, right? Like they're always just like, why are you playing games? Like, go make me a sandwich kind of thing, right? And
Yeah, I never understood that.
it's
It's so
still the
stupid.
same for like gay people as well. When people say like, "Oh, that's so gay," like I still people hear that say that till this day, right? Whenever I play games with voice comms, especially, um, and they just use that as an excuse for what? Like it for one, it makes no sense, and two,
Yeah.
like, are you living in like the 1800s? Get with modern times, girly. It just frustrates me how much like those words have so much impact on someone who like either is a woman or like is gay or like all the other insults, right? Um, but like especially for like straight men, right? Not targeting all straight men, right? But just those specific straight men, right? Who say
Just
those
like the
kind
very
of things.
close-minded one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like
Yeah.
just thinking and reflecting, right? Like you could have turned up like that if you weren't surrounded by a diverse group of people.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Very grateful.
Yes. Good.
Pulled me out of the trenches.
You're welcome. And like I did
Oh,
notice
yeah.
that as well when like I was growing up friends with you, David, right? Because I was friends with David since like grade 9-ish.
Grade 9, I think. Grade 9 to
Yeah. When
around.
he met one of my best friends, right? Like I also became friends with David. And so like I did see David at the start like being more of like the typical straight man, right? Because he was, I guess, societally taught to be like that. But then after I was friends with him, and then like he was surrounded by more and more people of diversity, then he started to learn, right? And it's just amazing to hear that. What's that word called? Like awareness, social awareness, like goes such a long way for people. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
oh sorry,
Oh, sorry. So I want to add because it's like it's crazy how different my friend group has changed from now to back then. Because I feel like specifically because it's like you are who you surround yourself with. So like you slowly become like them, and a lot of the people I was friends with back in back in I think elementary school, yeah, they were like your typical like very like how do you say like immature
shitters.
kids, like hate shitters. Yeah, we just shit on people, right?
Yeah.
And like the people I'm not saying like every kid was like a shitters, but like there's definitely a bunch of kids out there, certain groups that were like just love to shit on other people. I was a part of like so I hate to say it, but like I acknowledge that I was like a shitter in the past, but that was because I was like friends with shitters. But yeah, and then when I went into middle school and high school, I met so many like I was like it opened my eyes to that there's like so many different people in the world.
Yeah.
And like really helped me like kind of understand like everyone's points, and there's not just one point, right?
Exactly.
And then you just realize like, damn, you were really brainwashed by society.
Period.
Critically think.
Period. Yes. See,
I guess my brain was also like not developed.
Y'all straight people are shitters. Us gay people, we're heavenly shitters.
Wait, but what do you mean by that? Explain.
Our
Heavenly
poop, our
shitters?
poop is heavenly. We bless people with our poop. Period.
That's that's so slighted.
So moving on.
that's so funny. Okay.
Moving on. Yes. So
Mhm.
along our 3 a.m. topic about this, along our 3 a.m. conversation about this topic, we talked about how gay guys understand girls better than straight men. And I'm
Mm.
gonna direct this
Mhm.
question right to David because
Mhm.
David here was in a relationship recently, right? And because of that whole situation, and even like when like David, you were like trying to talk to girls, right? And like try to be in a relationship, like a lot of times like you misunderstood situations, and then like
Mhm.
it got you into less desirable places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think it has to goes to say that like because of how gay men were raised, right? Like because of how I was like surrounded by like super like feminine quote unquote stuff. Like I can understand certain tones when girls are talking, and like I can understand like what they mean when even though like they don't actually say it, right? Which I find straight men have like a lot of problems doing that. So I want to ask you, right? Like in those situations, like how did you like leeway yourself, I guess? Like what do you do when like you don't understand what a girl is trying to say to you?
Hey, best advice for anybody out there: if you're a straight guy, get a very unpopular opinion for society, but get a best friend who's a girl, so you can talk to them about all your girl problems, and they can tell you exactly what they mean.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Period. 10 out of 10.
Shout out to Aisha. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Okay. Not you outing your entire problems to her. You're just venting everything.
Only when it comes to women, because I want to understand like their perspective, like
Yeah.
because I feel like for her, since she's been through like a lot of like the situations that like on the opposite side of the situations I've been in, where I've been like in quote unquote less desirable places.
Mm-mm.
But like I don't know, I just ask like her for her perspective on it, and it really helps me like understand it more. And versus asking like maybe the other person who like sure I'll get like a direct like I'll understand maybe directly better, but like it's hard because they're not entirely like I feel like sometimes if you have a conversation with somebody else, they're not entirely truthful.
That is so true. Yeah, especially when you're in like a relationship, right? They kind of want you to like mind read a bit, you know?
Sometimes, yeah. It's just like they kind of just like it'd be nice if your partner could just understand you.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
But like even with like my female friends, like when I still talk to them, it's like sometimes I don't really know what they mean, or they make like inside jokes. I'm like, I don't really get it. But like when they explain it to me, I'm like, okay, then I get it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but then once you have to explain it, then like it ruins it a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think like that's why like girls are so mad, like when they're in a relationship and like their boyfriend doesn't understand what they're trying to hint at.
Yeah. I feel like for that specifically, it's like, I mean, for one, like this isn't even like it's not even gender specific. It's just like everything will come down to communication, right? But like, it's like for hinting wise, it's like it'd be nice if like we could understand it. But it was I found so fascinating because you said that you can like understand. When I was venting to you about like some of the problems that happened in that relationship, it's like you could understand where she was coming from with some of the things I said, and then after you said it, I was like, "Damn, okay, shit."
Yeah.
Kind of I didn't realize it until like you kind of like you kind of told me, and then Aisha as well also told me, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh, like yeah, okay, yeah." Now like it just made me understand like the situation a little better, so I understood where like she was coming from. And
I think a lot of the times like girls don't mean harm when they do this, but sometimes like a guy, like a straight man, would like literally like, blow his brains out because like they don't understand what they're trying to go. And I think that's coming from
I feel like
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's coming from a
Yeah,
place where, as a straight man, like you guys were taught to like tough out emotions and also like to keep it to yourself. So when a girl like explodes these emotions onto you, like you suddenly don't know what to do because you were never taught how to handle the emotions growing up.
Mhm.
Do you feel that's sorry? And also to add on to that, it's also like men also are expected to set a good example, right? To be like the protector, like to be the breadwinner of a family, right? Like not only
Yeah.
do they have to like make money for the family, but they also have to like support their wife, support their kids, and also just overall like be like a model of like strong, right?
Mhm.
And when you're not able to do that, it like kind of like takes a hit on your pride, right?
Mhm.
Does that like apply to you in this scenario?
I guess kinda. It's like when I look back at it now, it's like I feel like a lot of like your societal like straight male like stereotype is like if you think about it, they're mainly bringing like physical type of like value.
Mm.
Like and when I say physical, I mean like let's say like monetary, like money financially wise,
Mm.
or like to protect like and be like, big and burly and shit. But like
Mm.
it's never really like the emotional aspect. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's the emotional aspect usually always lies onto like the female stereotypes.
Mm.
And because like that's how like people are conditioned and they grow up with, it's just what they end up becoming better at, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure there's like I don't know the studies, but like I'm pretty sure you can find any study and it'll usually say like women will generally be more emotionally like developed
Yeah.
early on
Yeah.
than men will. And I'm pretty sure like I have like a small like conspiracy theory where it's probably because of how we're conditioned and raised.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I don't know.
Do,
Also
do,
because like yeah,
do,
sorry.
do you feel that way? Like where you feel like
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
emotions haven't been like matured enough to like handle these kinds of things right now?
I would say 100%
Oh.
because how I was kind of conditioned into thinking how I was supposed to be
Mm.
from a young age, and then like kind of like just really sticking to that one belief because you don't know about any other thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stick to that belief for so long, then you really gaslight yourself into believing it,
Yeah.
like just sticking with it and really just believing into it,
Yeah.
and then like add into sprinkle on the fact that you're like East Asian culture, like specifically Chinese. I'll just say Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Like it's very like traditional in the specs. Like even now, it's gotten better, but it's still very very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I'm sure you relate to this because like I feel like every person I talk to who has like a Chinese dad, they're all kind of the same. Where they're all just like very like manly, like stereotype.
Yeah, they have very high expectations, but also
Mhm.
like they
no
expect
emotion.
no emotion. Yeah, no emotion. That's what I
Yeah.
was going to get at. It's like
Yeah.
you try to like talk to them about anything and they're just like talk to the hand. Talk to my slipper.
They shut you down. Yeah. It's like you look like for me when I look for like when you look at like when you grow up, it's like your only like really male figure is like your father figure.
Mm-hmm.
If they're like given you're lucky enough to have one
Yeah.
in your life, it's
Yeah.
like it's something you really look up to. And then like if you try to talk about your feelings, the only person you can really talk to is like your mom.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
But even then, sometimes it's like it's difficult to because you don't know how to really talk about your emotions. And I was like this is like from my perspective, like I don't really know how to talk about that stuff with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, given the fact we also have a big language barrier, but like like if it comes to my dad, like I remember growing up, it's like if you cry, it's like dude, you're a guy, stop crying. Like I remember specifically he said that when I was like in like I think elementary school or middle school. He's like, you're a man, stop crying.
Yeah.
Men don't cry.
Yeah.
Like exact words. I remember that.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like, it was really eye opening because it's just like, even now, like he hasn't really changed. Like
Yeah.
he's pretty much like still the same
Yeah.
feelings towards it, and plus because like how he was raised.
Yeah. And it's so sad to hear that, because it just shows how much this is ingrained in our heads so deeply. Because when you're growing up as a child and like you want your parents, especially like your father figure, to like be a figure for you, like you want to be, like you want to idol them, right? You want to model what they're doing, but then they're just like shutting down your emotions and also not validating any of like your accomplishments. It's so hard to move on from that, because it actually like does scar you for like the rest of your life, especially if it's like a repeated action that they're doing, right? It's like every time you go to them for like advice or like you want emotional help, like they just shut you down. And like even just doing it once, it like already scars like a child for the rest of their life, most likely. So we have to move on from that. The generational trauma is too strong. We have to break the chain. Like, we gotta break the chain.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I can't imagine how hard it is for you though, specifically, because it's like for the people out there, my brother is gay. So yeah. And like when he came out to my dad, it was very like it's just like what you would imagine like it to be. It's just like, you know, obviously China's father is like, hey, why are you like, why are you the gay? Like literally. And that's literally what he told me.
Okay.
Like when I was talking to my brother about it, that's literally what my dad said to him.
Okay.
And he was like, and how like I found it interesting how like it's like my dad kind of like pinned it off on like it's like who he's surrounded by.
Yeah.
He thought it's more like it's like who you're surrounded by rather than it's like just who you are and who you're born as.
Yeah.
And I just found it so fascinating, but like I also found it so sad at the same time because it's just like he doesn't really understand where my brother's coming from. And like he just like even now he still refuses to accept that part of him. Like, and actually it's the same thing with my mom. Like at first anyways, it was the exact same thing, like kind of stonewalled it. It was like just could not accept that fact that that her son could be gay. And like I can't imagine that, like how hard it would be for you, because I feel like you would like, I don't know, I remember talking to you about it, and like I guess you could say your experience with that.
It's like similar experience to your brother. Yeah.
Pretty much, right? Yeah.
But I think it's I don't know what like hypnotized me or like gaslit me, but like I just told myself like if I just keep going in, things will be fine. I don't know, maybe that's like the mentality for like all the other people in the community.
That's what my brother thought as well. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
That's what my brother thinks as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's like because we see the support online, and I think this is like the really great thing too, like because we've become so online, especially like after COVID, like these issues like are becoming more aware, and because of that I think more people are comfortable being like loving themselves, right? And also being comfortable in their own body and like being happy with the way they're born. Yeah. And I think like I said, being like it's nature, how you are, like your sexual orientation is your nature. It's nature, right? And so we shouldn't, rather than like denying it, we should like just accept it.
Yeah.
Like,
and like, you know, what good does it even do? Like just, you know, spreading hate anyways,
exactly.
Like,
why deny people what they want to be?
Yeah. Like, if it doesn't like hurt anybody, like why does it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, just be nice to each other.
It's just, I think like in the next few years we'll see like a shift in beliefs and stuff like that. But like at the moment it's like it's getting better, and I'm happy to see that. Like if I was born in like the 1900s where like this stuff wasn't like a thing, like I would not.
You're cooked.
I'm cooked, right? Like maybe I would do it in secret, or maybe I wouldn't even think about it at all. Like I would think like, oh, I'm sinning right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back on the topic, right? Like we were discussing how gay people can understand girls better than guys, right? Sorry, yeah, better than straight men,
Like
right?
straight guys.
And
Yeah.
I say this because there was this one instance when I was in elementary school, right? You know, I was hanging out with girls mainly, right? And like because I was friends with girls, like I got to witness like the drama that was happening between these two sixth grade girls. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Let me just say, when a girl is at their puberty stage and like when the hormones are rushing and like it feels like you have to be like the most popular girl in the world, that's when they're most vicious. Oh my. And like that image of them when they're like premature and like pre-puberty is like kind of like a representation of how girls are when they're in a relationship with the guy. Like especially when like they're sulky, right? So these two girls were in a fight and I was like friends with them, and they all of a sudden, like one day they were best friends and then the next day they were fucking fighting neck. They were like verbally fighting with each other. They were like almost to the point where it was getting physical abusive, right? And I was in between them, and they were telling me from one side, like one of the girls was like, if you're friends with her, like I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore. And then the other girl will say the same thing, like if you're going to be friends with her, I'm not gonna be friends with you. And I'm just like, excuse me, what happened? Why am I in between these two girls fighting? And like I was just a gay boy. Okay, like I didn't know what to do. I was stuck between these two friends. I was absolutely lost. But like eventually things like did resolve because the teacher got involved. But like that shit traumatized me. Like from that day, I vowed myself to like, for one, never date a woman.
Damn, bro. That's crazy.
And like, okay, this is not misogyny or anything. This is just me like realizing the benefits of being gay. Like, I love women. I'm a feminist. I'm not a misogynist. But like the best thing about being gay is that you don't have to date women. Cause okay, you would never understand the experience, right? But dating a gay guy, and like I saw this on the TikTok, right? I'll link it in the description maybe, right? But dating a gay guy, it's so easy because gay guys are kind of like straight men. Like we're still men in nature.
You see both worlds.
Yeah. And like we're still both men in nature. So like we feel the same things that straight men do, but we just like guys as well, right? We're just like a little bit more feminine. We're just in touch with our feminine side. And so like a gay guy wouldn't like hold super deep grudges, and like we just resolve things through sex. Okay, not literally, right? But like we literally just like hug it out, kiss it out, whatever it is, and then like things are solved, right? It's like, oh, you wanna drink something and like sleep with me after, kind of thing.
Damn. Oh yeah.
Like that's how it is, right? Because gay culture is all about like hookup and like sex and like all that stuff. It's like kind of like that in relationships too, where it's like you like get into a fight and like you just tease a little bit and then boom, things are resolved, right? It's literally that simple. Okay, not that simple, right? But like you know what I mean. It's like we're more direct with our emotions, we're more direct with our words, and like we just say what's on our mind because we're just sassy like that.
It's interesting you mentioned directness because it's something I noticed as well. I guess it's a generalization to say, but like I noticed that, right? With guys, it's like we're usually more direct.
Yeah.
And then women are usually more like indirect.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it feels like, and I say this like not because of like relationship wise. I just like having female friends as well. I know this as well. It's like they expect you to kind of just pick up on things.
Yeah.
Like, and like they it's just like, well, whereas for guys, like when I talk to my guy friends, it's just like we're just very direct with each other.
Yeah.
If something's bothering us, we'll just say it. Like it's just like we're just flat out with it.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned that because I feel like since you have to, since like you in terms of romantic relationships, it's like you're dating another guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean I can't say for like gay guys like specifically, but I feel like it's like if you guys can just be more, I mean you guys are more like used to just being more direct.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as a wider whole of things, like I feel like just guys and girls are just generally more direct.
Mm-mm.
You know? So
And
you get like both worlds. Yeah.
yeah, and I just want to add on like that just reminded me, right?
Yeah.
Not only like are we more like direct, but even when we're being indirect, it's so easy to pick up on it because we're just so
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you, like we've been friends for so long, right? And like I'm quite expressive with my emotions. So like when you look at my face, you could tell something's wrong.
Yeah, I can like
we're so transparent.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, the
yeah.
closet is clear, girly.
I was gonna say because like I feel like for a lot of my non-straight friends who are men or identify as men, it's like I'm trying to be like as politically correct as possible right now. But, like,
okay.
Trying to not get canceled out here. But anyways, but like it's like you guys are generally more like it's just easier to pick up on. Whereas like I feel like for my female friends, I can't tell as much.
Mm-mm.
Like for you specifically, I can tell so easily when you're annoyed or not.
Period.
Like I just like it's just so easy to tell. It's like because your behavior changes so
drastically
and like drastically, yeah, like in a drastic way where like I feel like for my female friends, it's like in the past when they've been like when there's been like a situation where they're mad at me, I can't tell. But I feel like for all of my non-straight friends, I can tell so fast, like so easily.
Yeah.
It's just easier to pick up on.
Yeah. But like the signs that we're giving out, like it's kind of similar to women, but like they're just doing it more in a more subtle way. Because they like doing things discreetly. Like that's kind of like I guess in their nature to like I just be more polite and like be more reserved in that sense. Whereas like we like to be loud, we like to be rowdy. No, not all, right? Just me, right? This is just me, okay? I like to be loud, I like to be rowdy, and yeah, that's just I'm stereotyping myself, and also all gay guys. I'm so sorry. I do not represent the gay community, but this is just me. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
You represent a small part of it. You know?
Yeah. But speaking of this, right? There's a thing called Gaydar, right? And we're gonna talk about we were mentioning this earlier, right? How we're easy to be stereotyped, right? So I want to ask you first, what is your image of gay people?
Wow. Okay. Let's just say, okay. I have to really think this one out. Like,
no. So first thing on your mind, go. Get canceled. Let's get canceled.
Like, spicy, zesty.
Okay.
Like that's like the first words that come into mind. When I say that, it's like just the way you guys talk is very different from how like I guess your typical straight guy would talk. I feel like that's changed a lot now though. Like I get because I mean for me I feel like since I'm surrounded by you guys all the time, it's like I like just adapted to talking to like you guys and like I get like stereotyped as gay like actually quite a bit now.
Because you picked up on our mannerisms and now you're kind of slay. Period.
Yeah, just like on the way I'm speaking wise.
Yeah.
But, like in terms of like, I would say you have. I noticed that you guys have a lot more confidence in terms of like you're a lot more confident in who you are as a person. And it's also like you're very proud of it. Whereas I feel like it sounds so depressing to say, but I feel like for most straight guys, it's like, bro, we're confused about who we are. We have no clue who we are. I feel like you guys are just so certain on it because you guys have to be certain on like on your like own sexual orientation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I like for guys, it's like for straight guys, it's a given, right? It's already societally like imposed on you,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't have that thing to worry about.
Uh-huh.
And like you guys just like have more character development. Let's just say that.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
More character development, I would say for sure. Like the oppression, yeah.
I think y'all straight man, y'all hetero man, like peak at like 30. Oh, sorry.
It's so funny.
Because like that's when like you guys are probably in a relationship. You're probably gonna get married. You're probably planning to have kids. Like you're just it's like so nuclear family, right? Where like you guys peak once you have a wife and kid and a house and a car.
Yeah, white picket fence, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say I don't know. I feel like my gaydar personally I've always been right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
You're confident in your gaydar.
brag.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to brag. Okay, I knew my brother was gay from like back when he was in high school. Okay, like I fucking knew.
Okay. Well, there
and
you
go. For, like, a lot of people like.
Yeah. I mean, also like I feel like sometimes like I know this is bad to stereotype, but some gay guys are so obvious. Like they're wearing these booty jean shorts, crop tops. They have their nails done. They have piercings. They have like lip piercings. They're wearing lipstick. Like that kind of gay is like.
It's so funny.
Okay, but like that, if you look like that, period. I love your confidence, right? But there's also like a even bigger minority of people who are gay, but like they're just closeted, right? So like they're more straight passing, right? And like that's for a lot of guys, like that's how they want to keep it, right? Because they're so scared of like society, what they have to say about them. Maybe they're not in the best environment to come out as well, right? So when it comes to like when people use the word like, oh, how's your gaydar, right? Like personally for me, like I get kind of uncomfortable because like, you know, I know how it felt to be like labeled as a gay person, right? And for me, thankfully, like that label was a positive thing. But I know for a lot of people, like maybe being labeled as gay when they haven't come out yet is like a really negative thing. So like I just want to give that insight because I think it's important to point out that like not everyone should be like stereotyped, you know? And like I don't like this guessing game sometimes. But I will do it in private.
Luckily, luckily, in private, but yeah, luckily though, in my personal experience, I've had 100% accuracy so far.
Okay,
so.
period. Yeah, I'll never say it out loud, but in my brain, I'm gonna be like, "Is that Frankie Grande?" Oh my god.
I've never heard that before.
Oh my god, my best friend and I use that all the time when we ever pass by someone who's like remotely fruity. But yes.
Sorry,
did you want to?
One thing I want to say.
Yeah.
On the topic of like gaydar, like how, like the image of gay people, I would say, is like, besides like the more stereotypical ones, whereas like the way I guess gay people dress, I would say. But besides that, I would say like the way I personally could tell was like, again, like confidence in them, like who they are as a person, like in themselves. It's like, yeah, that character development. Like like I guess that's just for me because I feel like a lot of like straight guys, like I can kind of like tell just because of like just based off of that.
Yeah, but that's that confidence only comes after they come out. So that's the hard part, right?
Oh. Yeah, I also feel like for some like for straight guys as well as like even if they did go through like some sort of like character development, it's not as this. I can't describe it in words. It's just a feeling, but it's not the same feeling I get when I talk to somebody who I suspect as like, let's say Frankie.
Frankie Grande.
Frankie Grande. Yeah. But like, it's a different type of character development feeling I get.
Also, I want to ask you, have you ever been attracted to a guy?
No. I would not like. No, I can say like they look conventionally like they look like hot or cute,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's not in a place like when I say it, it's not coming from a place of like I guess anything deeper than that. I just like say it's the same compliment I would give. It's like if a girl looked like really cute, like her style, let's say her outfit looked really nice, I'd be like, whoa, your outfit's really nice. And it's just like it's just really nice, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
outfit itself is nice. I feel like in terms of like attraction, for me there's no attraction at all.
I see.
It's just I can just say like, oh, that guy looks really hot. Like he looks conventionally hot. But it's not like I'm gonna like be like we're gonna be like smooching like in like 3 seconds afterwards in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't like happen for me.
I see.
Mhm.
You know what's funny to me? I feel like we're gonna get into a bit about like gender norms right now, and like maybe I want to save this for a different podcast. But it's so funny how like when we call a guy hot, it's like sexy and like the like boss behavior kind of thing. But then when we call like a girl hot, especially if it's coming from a guy, it's like, oh, you're sexualizing her, or like you're making like an object of her.
Oh.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I feel like okay, maybe it's because when like my perspective is a little different because it's like for me, I see it as both. Like even if a girl called a guy hot, I'd still think it's coming from like a kind of like you're still like kind of like sexualizing them.
Yeah.
In a sense. But I get the notion with like I get the notion more with with women, like with like if they call them sexy or they call them hot, it comes with that like connotation of like that, like sexualization of it. But I mean, the way I see it is like it's the same. If a girl called a guy like hot or like sexy, I still get that same vibe.
Okay. Where like it's just what's it called? Where it's like kind of sexual?
Kind of, yeah. Like I don't see it as like just for one. Maybe that's just my own thing, but I feel like for like lots of people, I think they'll agree with you. Like they'll see, like when a guy calls like a girl like hot, it's probably like more in a sexualizing manner. I would say.
Okay. But then like when a gay guy calls like another like a straight man hot, then it's just like, oh, he's just being gay. Like, but he'll never have a chance. So it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Wait,
like,
what?
I feel like we get these weird pass, but like for straight men, like they don't get that pass. I don't know. Like it's weird. I don't know how to word this.
I know what you mean.
I
think I know what you mean. It's just I feel like it all comes down. All boils down to society, right?
Yeah.
I feel like because for straight guys, it's more like it was socially acceptable back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like now, I know what you mean. It's hard to explain, but like I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think like over time, like it'll shift where like we can like call girls hot without it meaning like a sexual way or like objectifying them or anything. Because I don't think like I know when girls say it to other girls, then it's like it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Because it's girl on girl, right? But when a guy, especially like a hot straight male, does it, it's like, oh, whoa there, slow down. There's like this whole like gentleman culture as well for straight guys that's like not talked about. But you know, I don't know. You know, I feel like I have to say this for a different episode, and I have to have like a conversation with a girl about this. So yeah. So wrapping up, I want to ask you, how is it like being friends with me? You know, being friends with a like you know the diverse group of people. You know, are you more aware of things? Has your insight like changed about us? And also like, what do you have to like say about us? I don't know, anything.
I would say. Okay, how much time do I got?
You know, you could yap. You go yap.
I can yap. Okay, because I was gonna say, it's probably honestly, I'll be completely honest, best thing that happened in my life.
Oh my god, really? Thank you.
Okay, I'll be like really wholesome right now, but like actually, it was like genuinely the best thing that happened to me, because the people I met like from this diverse group is like are like were like back then when I was a kid like the nicest people to me when I hated
You're
every bunch.
so welcome. Oh my god.
Like I tried so hard to shit on you guys, but you guys were just like just so nice. And like I was just so baffled by it. I was like God, I'm being like an asshole to you guys right now. Like, why are you being nice to me, bro? Like come on, being mean to me back. Because like growing up, that's like who the people I was surrounded by. It's like you be an it's like they're assholes, but like it's just like everyone's an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the people I was with when I was in elementary school, but going to middle school and like meeting like and high school, like meeting everybody. Like I guess like specifically for this topic, if it's gay people, but I guess like a lot of my like non-straight friends, like they were like the nicest people to me.
Oh my god, you're so
And I just found
welcome.
like so fascinating, and it's just crazy how like it's like you guys take so much shit like growing up. It's like you take so much like of like the oppression and everything from like society, your own family, like and everyone around you. And it's just like, and you call this person like if I was in your shoes and you called and we were like I guess quote unquote friends, I'd be like, bro, I would like dumped me out immediately because this guy was like an asshole. Like it's crazy how accepting you guys are. Like even though like I was like back then I was like in like not a good place, and I was also just like a not so good human being.
Okay.
Like damn, and then like it just really had a big positive impact on my life. Also like one thing I want to say is like I remember specifically with you is like I never realized I like until you brought this up to me I never really thought about it, like because you mentioned this earlier in the podcast where I said like back then I used to say like, oh, that's so gay.
Yeah.
And like right, like, and I say that I recall saying that so much in league back in middle school. Yeah, it's probably like my number one used phrase back then.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was like that was like a long time ago. Anyways, but like I didn't realize like words had like such a negative connotation to it, and the way you phrase the word had so much impact on somebody. You know what I mean? And I remember back then you were the one who actually brought this up to me, who said, "Hey, yo, David, I really don't like it when you say like that's so gay. Like it really makes me feel like a certain way." And I like when you told me that, I was like, that was like the first bit of character development that I ever had in my life, I think.
Oh, you're welcome.
Like,
I don't remember doing that.
Realized. Huh?
I don't even remember doing that, but you're welcome.
It's funny because a lot of the things that I feel like a lot of points in my life that have like really stuck with me, like big learning points, are like things that you don't remember ever saying to me.
Sorry.
But like I remember very clearly you're usually the ones who tell me these things, but like you told me how much it bothered you when I said that, and I became very inquisitive, not because I was like I shit on you for the way you were thinking, but it was more so back then I was genuinely curious about like why you felt that way, like why do you feel offended when I say that? Because it's like for me the way I saw it is like I saw it as like solely just as a joke, nothing more than that. And like for you said, I remember you said like because being gay has like a negative connotation back then, so you're like, oh, saying like gay, and then like even though like I don't like as in you said like you don't mind as much as if I said it, but as like a heads up, if you were to say that to someone else, I don't think they would have like be as understanding as I would to you. Like that, and that like impacted me really hard because I was like,
damn bitch, why am I so wise? Oh my god.
Damn, I know, right? It's crazy.
Oh my god,
like,
yes. Keep stroking my cock.
Told me that, I just but like ever since you told me that, I just never said it ever again, or like I just never said it out loud. Like, but like now I don't say it in like, because like back then I never said it in like a more an offensive manner. I just said it solely as a joke.
Yeah.
And I just never realized like the connotation it had. I don't know. It's just like what I'm trying to say is just like it really opened my perspective on certain things in my own life that I say. Like about other things. Like when for example, like some words that like have bad connotations with like, for example, with race
Yeah.
or with or like to a certain group of people. It's like really made me more think about more of those things, like the words I use and the phrase I use it in. But like, yeah, if I never met you guys, I would not have been like, my perspective would have been like pretty very linear. I would not have been as open-minded as I was now. So I guess I'm very like grateful for that. And like,
You're welcome.
I find it fascinating how like majority of my closest friends are like not gay. Not gay. Sorry, not straight. So I just find it so fascinating to me.
Okay.
So yeah.
You're welcome. So if you guys are listening out here, then like get a gay friend, get a gay best friend, and then your life will change forever. Period.
On God, please.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate like what you said. Yeah, like when you use that phrase, "that's so gay," back then, like I think I kind of, you kind of like jogged my memory a bit. So I think I remember what I said. I think I told you like, you know, it's okay if you say it like as a joke that you said, right? But in the context that you were using it in, it was always negative. And like that's how most people used that phrase back in the day, right? Like something bad happens, oh, that's okay. You know, like, oh, you killed someone, you got killed in League of Legends by like something like in a BS way, right? Like, oh, that's so gay. Like it was always used like that. And like that's the part that like bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for listening to
definitely.
me.
If you never addressed that to me, I probably would. I wouldn't say it out loud now in like now society, but like I would say it behind closed doors. I feel like.
Okay, I see.
But, like,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time people change. Like I find for me, like people change not because you tell them to, but because they experience something. Right. That's when change happens, and like I'm glad I made a change in your life. Oh get rid of the sappy stuff. Oh, bye.
It's too wholesome.
Yeah,
for
too
me,
wholesome, right? But you know, unfortunately, I know we had a good conversation, but that kind of wraps up everything I wanted to talk about for the episode. So, thank you, David, for having me on this episode. Was there anything else you wanted to share? Last things, maybe?
Wait, having you on this episode? I swear you're having me on this episode.
Wait, what did I say?
you said thanks, David, for having me on this episode.
Oh shit! 1 a.m. brain. 1 a.m. brain. Oh my god. Okay, thank you.
Though, oh, sorry. I just want to say this one thing. I feel like in the beginning, my brain was so empty, but now after it's like 1 a.m., I feel more livid.
Yeah. No, yes, this is what podcasting do to you. It gets you yapping. I love yapping. Yapping is my favorite thing. So yeah, thank you, David, for coming, featuring on my podcast. It was very happy. It was very fun. How do you feel? How are you feeling?
In the wise words of Sabrina Carpenter, this was not gonna make it.
Oh.
None of these are gonna make it.
Oh. Wait, I'm so sorry. I know like Sabrina Carpenter is like so big, but like I have not caught on to the hype yet.
Oh.
So please explain to me. Please explain to me what that phrase means.
You will.
Oh.
You will. No. It's just something she said in like one of her final songs.
Oh.
This is like because I feel like this video will come after your K-pop video, and I feel like this topic is just so left field compared to K-pop. It's just not even related to K-pop, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like in terms of view count wise, it's not gonna make it.
It's okay. This is my community. I get to say what I want to do with this channel. Okay.
True, as you should.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you feeling good? You feeling happy with the episode?
Yes.
Okay, that didn't sound that confident, but okay.
I don't know.
Okay, but yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Please anticipate the future episodes and check out my other ones if you haven't already. Once again, thank you so much for giving me so much love on the previous episode. I really appreciate it, and I'll keep pushing out more content for you guys so that I won't let my subscribers down. I will be more consistent, I promise, okay? So I'll see you all next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you, David. Say bye-bye. Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, people. Woo.